Good evening. So let's take a look at market and our scripts. What we have in scope for tomorrow and coming days. So like you already know, I have already given the long-term view. So Nifty and Bank Nifty, they are in this. Bank Nifty is in this weekly channel. So bottom is somewhere near 32,000, and Nifty the bottom is almost close, maybe around 16,000. Bottom will come for Nifty. So what happened today again? So uh, we have this channel in daily or hourly. So try to sustain within this. However, major support is at 33,700 only. So Bank Nifty must come to 33,700 in order to have a meaningful pullback. So even that pullback may not be again, it will be a temporary bounce. So I'm still expecting a sell only on every high. So we will see how much it can go on a daily basis on the upside, and whatever how much it can go on the downside. So any sell target will be 33,700. Okay, so that's very clear for Bank Nifty. And as we can see, we don't have much of an bull trend for Bank Nifty. So any upside can happen only when Bank Nifty crosses strongly above 34,550. And I don't think we will have 34,000. I don't think that will happen for Bank Nifty for now. So even if that happens, it won't be bullish enough. Maybe Bank Nifty can go till 34,900 or so. So on the buy side, Bank Nifty above 34,540, it can go for a buy, and it can maybe go till 34,900. On the downside, Bank Nifty will have to cut below 34,000 and it will reach 33,700. Okay, so that is about Bank Nifty, and below 33,700 we can always see 32,000 and odd. So that will be a huge support zone for Bank Nifty. So from how much it can go, that we'll have to see on the price action basis only. So sellers have to be very, very careful below this 33,700. So market can have a good bounce back. So especially from 32,000 and odd levels. Okay, and coming back to Nifty, Nifty is almost it made a low of 60,140. So 60,100 or 60,000 will be a major support for Nifty. So Nifty will keep bouncing back. So likewise, Bank Nifty will also keep bouncing back from these levels. So even a closing below this level cannot be trusted. So trend lines, how the way in which it works is, it has to close below, and then it has to test the trend line, and then it has to go further below. So that is how a trend line, rejection at the trend line will be the signal actually for entry for any trade for trend line breakouts. So in this case again, we can see that Nifty at 60,142, today is closing at 16,300. Again, Nifty is not that strong, so gap down and then it filled the gap, and it was trading within a very small range. So maybe above 16,400, Nifty can once again test 16,700, and that's on the best case scenario for the bulls. I don't think that's going to happen. So tomorrow we are lucky to have a gap down, and the Nifty may test 16,000. And the reason is, again, for now, US markets are down, and so we can see that US markets are already down. So Dow Jones already down 400 points, and Nasdaq already down 200 points, and SGX Nifty is trading at 16,288. There is a possibility of gap down tomorrow. And TCS 3,380 acted as a support. So as I said yesterday, sellers have to be careful in this particular zone, because this is a very huge support zone. Breaking below this support zone of 3,400 to 3,430 to 3,350, it's going to be very, very tricky for sellers. There can be a wild bounce from anywhere. The reason being, this zone 3,000, this line, bottom line, right? It was a previous breakout line for TCS before it made a high of 4,000. So it is a previous breakout zone. So that support will be huge. So bulls will protect that zone, and that's why we saw a tremendous pullback. It's a good pullback. for TCS. So it's only a pullback, it doesn't say change the trend, and we'll have to see if this buying momentum still holds for the stock and if it goes to any higher. So for now, TCS for tomorrow, again, we can have a dip in TCS, but as long as it doesn't break 3380, maybe we will have 3390 as a last stop loss for TCS, or 3373 will be the stop loss for TCS, and from there we'll have to see TCS how much further it can. So TCS can likely to go, from my perspective, can go. Okay, it can go till 3490 also, 490 and above. If it sustains, then TCS will be on a bullish. Till then, it's not going to have much of a bull run. Okay, and ICICI Bank, as I said, 710 will come. So 710 came, it acted as a huge support, and from there we saw a good bounce in the stock, and then again it has closed at 711. So this doesn't qualify much. Similar to Bank Nifty, it had a gap down and then covered the gap and then it is coming down. However, the sellers are losing momentum. So the sellers are, we can see that there is a convergence happening in the MACD also. So we may have some buy, which indicates the bottom is kind of close. So market is oversold. I'm not indicating that okay, market is going to go and hit all-time high. There's still a long way to go for that. And as I said, Bank Nifty maybe 30,000 is possible. So we'll have to just wait and watch, okay, how much it can go. And ICICI Bank again only above 720 for now. Yesterday I mentioned I think 725 or something. So today again 720. That level will act as a major resistance for ICICI Bank for the short term. So it tested this trend line and then it has broken down. So there will be more negativity for ICICI Bank and we may see 690 in the coming years. 690 will be a major support. Bajaj Finance, it broke below the trend line. It is coming back to test the trend line, and as I said, it tested almost 5,800. So it made a low of 5,832 and it had a pullback. So these are, I keep on mentioning, it's only a pullback. Okay, it is not a change in the trend. Okay, so the change in the trend or bottom, establishing a bottom will take long time in the market. So it's not going to happen any sooner. Okay, so just we need to be careful because it's going to hunt stop loss on either side. So it's going to trap bears as well as bulls in these zones. So we have to be very, very clear about the market zone. Okay, so again below 5,800, so it has not properly tested the support, I would say. So 5,800 still a possible target, and below that we can even see 5,240 to 5,300. But this particular 5,300 will be the last support for Bajaj Finance, because this is the again previous multi-year breakout line. So if you see here for Bajaj Finance, this was the breakout zone, 5,760 here, from here to here, 5,450 to 5,760 before it rallied till 8,000. So that was a breakout zone. So that zone will be defended for Bajaj Finance. So keep in mind, we are in a huge support zone for Bajaj Finance, TCS, and also HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank, it clearly, this double top still in show. So we may even come below here and test 1230 for HDFC Bank. So if HDFC Bank is going to come till 1230 or even 1256, then Bank Nifty has a good fall still, right? And however, this particular gap between the 100 and 200 moving average and weekly is not going to get closed easily. So HDFC Bank will have a definite pullback from 1262 level. So similarly, Bank Nifty will have a pullback from 32,000 and odd level. So if HDFC Bank is going to go down 60 points, we can expect Bank Nifty to go another 1,600 or 1,700 points. Okay, and Tata Motors, as expected, again it came till 396, and again it has just a pullback. So and it may not sustain, as I said yesterday, it may not sustain well below 420. So it will try to come into this channel again, and if it gets rejected, it may come down again. So what will be the next support for Tata Motors? So this itself is a huge support zone for Tata Motors. So 390 to 375 will be a huge support zone. I would say no for selling in the stock. Even though it is bearish, it is completely oversold here, and we can see how the pullbacks are not effective. So just trading flat. So, but we just need to be careful, in the market, because in the given conditions it's like that. So Tata Motors. Can go till 370. So 370 will be the again the next major support. So from here 405 to 370 will be a huge support zone for Tata Motors. So it is not going to sustain below 370. That is going to be a huge pullback in the market for this. So as I said, so multiple stocks are nearing their support zone. So again, if we take a look at HUL, we can see here. So HUL again, it tested one of our support zone here, supports here 2110, and again we'll have to see how much it can go. Maybe 2070 or so will be the next support point for HUL. So if it breaks that, then we will see further downside in the stock. So, but 2070 will hold, because that is again somewhere near this particular channel. So I think it will hold between that line. It has to go up. Okay. So that is all for today. So sellers just mind the support zone. Even though market is extremely bearish and it is still oversold, there is no hope for the bulls. We can expect a huge pullback or some short-term relief rallies in the market. As soon as we hit the bottom. So we are close to the bottom for the short term, and only when the bottom gets clearly established, we will know whether it's going to be a permanent bottom before we hit the lifetime high in the markets. There's still a long way to go. So that's all for today. Thank you.